King Richard I came to the throne in 1189 and very soon left his throne empty when he set off on the Third Crusade. His wicked brother, Prince John, became the ruler of the country in his absence. John was a cruel, merciless man who took from the poor to make money for himself. The poor peasants of Nottingham had a friend in a young man called Robin Hood, who took from the rich and gave to the poor. His identity was unknown until he was betrayed by his steward, Werman, who told Prince John that the noble Robert, Earl of Huntingdon, was none other than Robin Hood. Prince John then orders Sir Guy of Gisborne to arrest Robin and seize his holdings at Locksley Hall. On this day, we join Robert Fitzooth at his wedding to Maid Marian, which may not be the joyous occasion the two young lovers had hoped for.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to celebrate the love of Earl Robert Fitzooth and Maid Marian. In the years they have been together, we have seen their love grow, and today they come to join their lives together as husband and wife.
Stop everything! There will be no wedding today. I have in my hand the royal edict declaring this man an outlaw. Be it known to all, in the name of Prince John, Regent of England, that Robert Fitzooth, known as Robert, Earl of Huntingdon, also known as Robin Hood, for as much as he has aided the king's enemies, broken the king's laws, and is a traitor to the king, and to those set by him in authority, that the same, Robert Fitzooth, is hereby declared outlaw, his lands and goods forfeit, his person is proscribed and banished, in the name, Richard our king, and the regent Prince John.
Stay calm, my dear guests. Let not your minds be troubled. I will deal with this interruption. Why then, here and now, Robert Fitzooth, Earl of Huntingdon, ceases to be. For both you and Sheriff have called me Robin Hood, and so you and Prince John himself shall live to fear that name. And not only you, but all those like you shall go in terror as long as Robin Hood reigns in Sherwood Forest. In Sherwood and wherever else wrongs need to be righted until King Richard comes home from the crusade and there is justice once more in this fair land of England. Lady Marian, did you give your love to the Earl of Huntingdon or to plain Robin Hood?
I gave my love neither to the Earl or to his earldom, but to the man whom I love, whose wife alone I shall be.
So Robert Fitzooth of Huntingdon became Robin Hood of Sherwood Forest. Many joined his band of outlaws. When Robin was settled in his new home in Sherwood Forest, he began to go looking for adventure. One of these wanderings abroad resulted in Robin finding one of his most loyal and trusted followers, who became his best friend.
Hi-ho, hither walks a man, methinks. Yea, yonder bridge is too narrow for the twain of us to cross. Lest he arrive there first, I will put wind in my step and claim the bridge my own.
Alackaday, I see your tricks. Out of my way, little boy, unless you want a donkey in the street.
Fie upon it. You are tall in truth, but you are no match for my speed and cat-like reflexes. Get back off this bridge until I have crossed it. If you refuse, I assure that you will be the one getting dumped.
By the rood, I'll break your face in first, and I'll throw you in the water afterward.
You talk like a plain donkey. If I were to bend my bow, I could send an arrow through your proud heart before you could touch me with your staff.
If I talk like a donkey, you talk like a coward. You stand there well armed, a good longbow, while I only have a staff, and well out of your reach.
I scorn the name of coward. I will lay aside my weapons and challenge you with a quarterstaff like yours. Stay there until I cut one in the thicket.
Here I stand, 1 foot on the bridge, until you are ready for your cold bath in the stream.
Lo, what a strong staff I have, the very thing for knocking insolent rogues into the water. Let's fight here on the bridge, so that if one of us goes into the water, there will be no doubt who has won, and the victor may go on his way without getting wet.
By all means, rather than I'll hurt you, but I will. Good fellow, where are you?
Here I am, just putting my shoulder back in the socket. I must confess, I am well beaten. You're a fine fellow and a good fighter. Let peace now take its turn and govern our discourse. The bridge is yours, and I will seldom invite your wrath upon my flesh again. Where were you walking?
To tell you the truth, I was in search of a man they call Robin Hood.
Good master, what has happened to you?
This fellow here has just tossed me into yonder stream with his fine staff.
Say goodnight, no, tall fellow. No man insults Robin Hood and lives to tell about it.
Robin Hood?
Come now, my friend. Do not fear my merry men. These men protect me and do my bidding. You too can join them if you will shake my hand and swear loyalty to Robin Hood.
Here's my hand, and my heart goes with it, honest Robin. My name is John Little, and I have promised to serve you faithfully.
Listen, men, this baby came to join us as John Little, but seeing he is so small and so puny a babe, we'll turn his name around and call him Little John, now and forever. Long live Little John!
Long live Little John!
Next to join Robin's faithful group in the greenwood was Friar Tuck. Before meeting Robin, Friar Tuck was living in a hermit cell by a river. He ferried people across the river on his boat for a small fee. Robin Hood had just come upon Friar Tuck sitting by the river.
Now then, my fine fellow, come and ferry me over the river.
All in good time, my son, all in good time. He could have swum the river if he weren't so lazy, and the wedding would have done him good. But I am a righteous man who has vowed to serve others. Now then, let me see how much money you have.
Surely, good friar, you would not rob me.
No, I only asked for money for the poor.
No man should be forced to give to the poor unless he wants to.
But my job as a priest is to encourage you to give to the poor, and I will do this however I have to.
Okay then, come search me. For that, you shall carry me across the bridge once more on your back, and don't expect to get any payment for it. If you even ask, all you'll get is a broken head.
A fair bargain.
What say you we call a truce? Would you shake my hand? I have never met a holier man who is so skilled with the quarterstaff as you are. Let us make peace and rest a while in your home, where you surely will be able to feed a poor wanderer such as me.
I'm sorry to say I have very little food here. Just a small bowl of some peas and some water. I generally have the water first and then the peas, though sometimes I put the peas in the water.
It seems, holy brother, that a few peas and a jug of water have fattened you up quite well. Surely it is a miracle that a man who lives upon a handful of peas is so round and so strong a fighter as you are. Perhaps you could find something a little richer to feast upon. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I do have a penny. I wonder a whole penny might change your mind.
A nod is as good as a wink to a blind horse. You have judged well. Food I have aplenty for a traveler willing to add shine to the table. If your penny bites silver, then your plate shall be shoveled high. Tell me your name, decent forester.
Tell me yours first.
I am but a simple priest, and my name is Friar Tuck.
I go by several names, but you may call me Robin Hood.
The Robin Hood, the fastest bow shooter on the south of the Humber?
The very same.
I have heard that you live well in the forest, and you need a priest there, and I am just the priest you need.
So Friar Tuck joined Robin Hood in Sherwood Forest and became one of the merriest of all men present there. It is even said that his contagious happiness sparked an outbreak of merriment in a village south of Sherwood Forest.
Meanwhile, as Robin's group of merry people continued to grow, Marian was determined to join them in Sherwood. So long as she remained living in her father's castle, she was under his power, which meant that he could decide whom she would marry. Sir Guy was aware of this and wanted Marian for his own, so he decides to visit the castle and try to influence her father through flattery.
What Marian needs is a husband. Yes, a husband would be the best solution for her. And her silly-eyed Deweys join Robin Hood and Sherwood, and I could be just that husband.
I will have no man of your choosing, Father, unless he is my choice also. And my choice is and will always be brave Robin Hood.
Where are you going?
I'm leaving. Don't leave the torch lit for me. I'll be in Sherwood.
You will do no such thing.
Watch me.
I will have up the drawbridge. Rick, raise the bridge.
Then I will swim the moat. Mabel, bring me my swimsuit. Yes, ma'am.
Then I will secure the gates. Jasper, go lock the gate.
Be back in a jiffy. Then I will leap from the castle wall. Shelley, bring me several pills and a first aid kit. Yes, ma'am.
Then I will lock you in your room. Sal, bring me a padlock.
One padlock right away, sir. Then I will shred the curtains and escape through the window. Delilah, bring me my sewing kit. Yes, my lady.
Then I will lock you in the tower where you will only see light through the keyhole. Sean, throw some fresh hay in the tower dungeon. Marian just made reservations for one.
Yes, sir. Then I will find some other way to escape. Father, if you let me go freely, I will return to you. But if you lock me up, I will never come back.
I can see you won't be swerved from your aim. You are quite a puzzle to me, dear daughter, but my blessing is upon you.
So Marian left her father's castle to live in the forest with Robin Hood, yet Sir Guy did not desist from his plans to marry her. Meanwhile, hearing that Prince John was at Nottingham, Robin Hood walked near the edge of Sherwood disguised as a forest ranger. He hoped to meet some traveler and learn of Prince John's intentions. As he strolled along the road, he met a young man dressed in forest attire who wore a sword at his side.
How now, good fellow? What news is there today in the good city of Nottingham?
I go about my own business, and the news is that Prince John has come to put down all the outlaws of the forest.
About time, too. What do you, my fine fellow, with that sword?
I mind my own business, and I would that other wanderers in Sherwood did likewise.
My business is like such as you. Now tell me your name, or my sword will coerce it from you.
Two can play that game.
Hold your hand, good fellow. You fight too well to be wasted like this. Come, throw in your lot with Robin Hood, and be one of his merry men.
Are you Robin Hood?
Robin Hood I am, and no other.
Oh, Robin, do you not know me?
Marian, and I wounded you, yet knew you not? Come away with me now to our secret glen, and let my men welcome their queen, Maid Marian of Sherwood Forest.
So Marian moved to Sherwood Forest. Sir Guy was jealous and wanted to capture Robin Hood. By doing so, he would win favor with Prince John and eliminate his rival for Marian's hand in marriage. But it would be some time before Prince John would show his face again. However, we soon meet another villain, the shape-shifting witch, Mother Maudlin, who disguises herself as Maid Marian.
Oh, fair Marian, how are you?
I'm blessed beyond measure in your presence.
Your happiness is my fulfillment. But tell me, how have you passed this glorious day?
Never has a hunting trip seen such a success as this day. One shot brought him down, a long shot, and my arrow landed in his heart.
Truly, tonight's feast will be memorable, thanks to your archery skills.
I would think so. But Robin, a shadow fell upon us as we were hunting. A raven sat in the tree over our heads and croaked sadly. The shepherd Carolyn swore that it was no ordinary bird, but Mother Maudlin, the witch of Papewick, who is said to be a shapeshifter. Carolyn later saw Maudlin and says she cursed him, promising that terrible things would happen to anyone who ate the deer at Robin Hood's feast.
Is it Papewick or Papwick?
I say Papewick.
Little John said it was Papwick.
How does the witch say it?
I've never talked to her.
Marian left with her friend to wash her hands in the stream. When she came back, she looked rather strange, staring at people with furrowed brow and vacant eyes.
You look odd. What happened down by the creek?
I feel fine. I feel like 10 pennies, and I think you should watch your tone with me.
All right. Let us call our friends to the feast.
Friends, they shall not feast on this deer. It is too good for such rough country people. A starved sheep's carcass would be good enough for them. Scarlet, take the deer to Mother Maudlin. She is such a wise woman.
Marion, what are you saying?
I shot the deer, and I'll give it to whoever I want to. Robin, you are being irksome, and I tire of your presence. I think we should take some space so that I can make my new potions and think of new curses.
So you can do what?
I mean, to go of my devotions and read new verses.
Marion is acting crazy. I think I better go speak with her.
Hello, my love. Forgive me from staying away from you for so long.
And now you dare to call me your love? After you said that our guests weren't fit to eat the deer you shot? And after you sent the meat to Mother Maudlin?
What are you talking about? I did no such thing. Either you are joking or you have been deceived.
Could it be? No. But maybe. But it couldn't.
What is it?
Hi, Marion. Send me a deer, Marion did. A whole deer for poor old Maudlin. The fattest deer that I ever saw. Oh, such happiness for a poor old woman. I shall go crazy with joy.
Surely, good mother, there is some mistake. If I did indeed give such an order, some madness must have come upon me.
Do you dare to take back the gift you have given me?
No, Maudlin. I didn't give you the deer. It belongs to our friends, the shepherds and the shepherdesses.
Ha ha ha! You and your feast are cursed. Cursed, I say, cursed. The spit stands still and no joints turn. Before the fire, but let it burn. Both sides and haunches till the whole converted be into one coal. The stinking dropsy enters in, your filthy cook, and swell his skin. The pain we call the gout begin, to prick and itch from toe to shin, and cramp the cook in every limb. Before you dine, all this on him.
Well, here's a mess. Poor Reynold the cook has gotten sick all of a sudden. He is filled with aches and pains. He cannot stand, he cannot move, and worst of all, he cannot cook.
She is indeed a witch. I believe she can turn herself into any shape. As you told me, Marion, sweet Marion, forgive me for doubting you. As for you, good friar, go back and cook our dinner. It would be a pity to spoil it.
By the mass, that would be the greatest pity of all. Let us hurry to save our dinner.
And as for me, I'm off to get that witch. Come on, men.
So Robin and his merry men went to Maudlin's hovel. But when they got there, it was not Maudlin who met them at the door.
Marion, you run faster than I do, and yet...
Leave Maudlin in peace, Robin. They say she is a witch, but that is false. It is only that she is far wiser than other women. I beg you, if you love me, do not chase her any further, for she is my dear friend.
Come closer, Marion, so I can get a good look at you. You look odd. And what's that belt? I've never seen it before. So you made yourself look like Marion by wearing this charming belt. It all comes clear now. Mother Maudlin, there is no place for you in Sherwood or in Papawick. And if you ever cross my path again, I will shoot you.
So Mother Maudlin was banished from Sherwood forever, and the merry men and the shepherds all had a grand feast, prepared and greatly enjoyed by Friar Tuck.
We now return to the legends surrounding Sir Guy's pursuit of Maid Marian. Guy and his soldiers surprised Marian and Robin one night and attacked them without mercy. After fighting with Sir Guy, Marian outmaneuvered Guy and pinned him to the floor with her sword at his neck.
Surrender and command your men to drop their weapons, or I will slay you here and now.
Mercy, good sir. Drop your weapons, men. We are beaten.
Guy Gisborne, I have you at my mercy.
Marian, I have always been at your mercy. It is my love for you that made me try so hard and so often to take you from Robin Hood.
Sir Guy, you have threatened the life of my Lord Robin Hood many times, and that is a threat to my life as well, because I cannot go on living without Robin. You know that I would rather die than that.
Let me strike off his head. We have been troubled by this false knight all too long. If he lives, our friends will continue to be in danger.
Not so. Sir Guy, Sir Knight, you will swear by your knighthood not to seek vengeance on these good friends of ours who have helped us. And you must swear not to pursue me or Robin Hood ever again. If you agree to these terms, you shall live.
And if you break this oath, I will have no more mercy on you.
I swear to abide by these terms, the honor of knighthood and hope of my salvation.
To Marian, making Sir Guy promise to stop his efforts to kill Robin, and then letting him go free, seemed like the best plan. The only thing she had not planned on was Sir Guy breaking his promise, and that is precisely what happened. Sir Guy dressed as a forester and walked through Sherwood looking for Robin Hood. He wanted to get close to him and then kill him by surprise.
Good morrow, good fellow. Though I don't recognize you as a local forester, I can tell from your fine bow that you're an archer, and a good one, too.
Yes, that's right, an archer. I'm an archer from Pendle Forest, but a stranger in this glade. I'm questing for a man named Robin Hood, as I would like to join his band of merry people.
Come with me, then, and I will easily guide you to Robin Hood.
Robin Hood, your life is over.
Sir Guy? You are a coward and a traitor. Will you not meet me fairly man to man and sword to sword? There is no shame in that. I am as nobly born as you are, and you know it. To shoot an unarmed man is cowardly and shameful.
When Robert of Locksley became Robin Hood of Sherwood, he was an outlaw, and honor does not matter with outlaws. In a little while I will wind my horn, and the sheriff will know that Robin Hood is dead, and your merry men will be dead or prisoners also. But if you surrender to me now, I promise you gallows in Nottingham.
Then I choose an arrow in Sherwood. If you can plant one in my heart. This is indeed the last round, but now the combat is even, and may God defend the right. There lies a false and dishonored man, but in his death he may yet do good.
While Robin Hood is busy with Sir Guy, the Sheriff of Nottingham has captured Little John. He is now waiting for the sound of Sir Guy's horn, announcing the end of Robin Hood. So Robin dressed in Sir Guy's clothes and pretended that he was Sir Guy. By doing this, he was able to approach the sheriff and get very close to him. He kept his hood lowered so that his face was hard to see.
Did you hear that? Listen, that is Guy's horn. That means he killed Robin Hood. That is the best news I've heard all day. Ah, the man of the hour. Guy, you deserve a reward, and I will give you whatever you ask.
I want no reward, for I have always hated this man, whose head I bring you here. His death is reward enough, but if you would like to do me a favor, I ask this. Let me have the pleasure of killing this man, Little John, just as I have killed his master.
A crazy choice to make when you can have gold as a reward. But I will grant your wish. Here lies Little John,
is yours to kill. It is I, Robin Hood, and if we have to die here, we will at least go down fighting. We will never surrender willingly to this sheriff.
Robin Hood, or is it the devil? Kill him.
Robin Hood and Little John fight bravely, but they are overwhelmed by having to fight so many of the sheriff's men. Suddenly, a knight wearing black armor enters the battle from nowhere, swinging an axe.
What? So many men against only 2? Back, you wolves!
And the Black Knight thundered after the sheriff and his men as they ran for their lives. Who was this Black Knight?
Prince John continued to send his followers after Robin Hood to kill him, even after the death of Sir Guy. Finally, he took matters into his own hands and went to Sherwood to capture Marion when he knew that Robin Hood was not there.
So here's the tigress in her den. At last, Marion, after all these years, we finally meet again. And not to part so quickly as last time, I made sure Robin Hood was busy before I came for you.
Back, you wild beast! Prince or no prince, this sword is between us, and I can use it as well as any man to defend myself to bottom them.
Quickly, catch him, fools. Curse you, fierce Lotus. If you would have caught her quicker, she could have not blown that horn. Now every moment we delay, we are in danger of that dog Robin Hood barking at our heels. Quickly, come, my pretty, or we'll have that dog Robin Hood barking at our heels.
At this point, an arrow flies through the air, hitting Prince John between his thumb and forefinger, cutting him to the bone. Had Robin Hood not just run nearly half a mile, the arrow would have destroyed John's hand, and he would have had trouble signing the Magna Carta.
Prince John, you must be tired of fighting with women. Turn and fight with me instead.
So Prince John is defeated by the merry men and taken to a cave just as a religious pilgrim arrives. Does this pilgrim look familiar? Does he favor the Black Knight?
You well here, friend Robin Hood, on the king's deer.
We do kill the king's deer for our meat, but I don't believe we break the law that is fair. They call me the poor man's friend, for I take from the rich to give to the poor, but I have never taken from anyone who is honest or worthy. Come now, we may be thieves, but we are thieves of honor. You do not dishonor yourself by sharing a meal with us. That is, unless you shrink from eating the king's deer.
Shrink? Why, I feel as if of my own, and was hungry if I walked all the way home from Jerusalem.
Then come and drink with us to King Richard and his speedy return.
You drink to the king's return, even though you are outlaws?
We owe it to the king, for after all, our meal is borrowed from him. But we have never forgotten that while we live merrily in Sherwood, we owe allegiance to our king, and we always raise a toast to him. Outlaws, the king!
The king and his return from the crusade!
When the meal is over and the toasts have been drunk, Robin Hood remembers that he has a prisoner.
I am reminded that we have a prisoner, one who attacks women when no one is around to protect them. Bring him before us, Little John.
Richard, King Richard, my brother, come back to punish me?
Untie him, swiftly. Now go, and sin no more. Stand up again. Stand up, my friend. I freely pardon you and all who are here. Robin, you have made a name for yourself. I have heard you spoken throughout England as a friend to the poor. I also know that you and Lady Marion agreed not to get married until I, the king, return to give her to you in marriage. Is this true?
It is, my liege.
Then here and now I give her to you.
So Robin Hood and Maid Marian were married there in Sherwood Forest, with King Richard to give the bride away. Then they marched to Nottingham in triumph. As they came into Nottingham, the plowman left his plow in the field, the blacksmith left his iron on his anvil, and the aged and sick rose from their beds and hobbled to their doors to cheer for King Richard. King Richard and Robin.
King Richard